Hey, it's Alicia Bake from VO Booth Besties, and you're listening to the VO Life with Troy Holden.
Hey, welcome back. It's another edition of the VO Life. This time we are video. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. I had broken this Sennheiser Profile USB mic out of the closet. It's been up there forever, a couple of years. Never used it. I tried it when it came in. I liked it because it said Sennheiser on it. It had a mute button, which I thought was cool. And I thought, who knows, maybe I'll use it for something. And I never did. I mean, I had given my son my old Fifine mic, and he's still using it for gaming and streaming and stuff. And, of course, I've got my gorgeous Shure MV7, and I love the way it looks. It fits my image, but so does this. So now we've got the black and white and a lot of white, and this one's a lot of black. And I know people are going, you're nuts. Some of the stuff you do, buying this stuff and using it, you're nuts. But look, it's like a hobby thing to me. I'm an old fart and I enjoy it. So, cut me some slack. Period. This week I really have so little to talk about outside of the summer slowdown that so many people have seen. And, I was a little slower in July than what May and June were, but it really wasn't that bad. But what's the big change? The big change for me in the last 30 days or so, 45 days, is definitely a flip. Well, more than that, last 90 days. A flip in where my money is coming from. I'm making more on a consistent basis per month. But you look at my charts for the first 4 months of the year, 4 months of the year, I average somewhere between 8 and 10 commercial spots a month. Not bad. That's not bad. And they're not all big stuff, but they're commercials. Something that went to pre-roll or it went to radio or mostly local stuff in Texas, as always. But what I'm getting at is it's mostly, local stuff. So I'm not talking about 10, 15,000 a spot. I'm talking a lot of these are $500 spots, $250 spots, for a 13-week local. They are GVAA rated, but I was doing several of them. And in July, I did one commercial, which is odd for me. I'm usually do at least a couple a week. So I still had a good month, so the analyzing comes in. I was getting my sheet together for the end of the month, and where am I? My Fiverr went from 4 to 7%, which is about average for me because I just was not making very much money there because it was strictly voiceover, but I started adding UGC. It started building. It got really busy in end of May and June and fairly busy in July. Fiverr was 38% for me this time, which is totally different for me. Also, my other highest bookings outside of UGC were documentary was next. Now, documentary, to some people that say, I'm reading a YouTube channel and it's about space, it is a documentary. That is what they are pushing those as. They are space documentaries. No, they're not on television, but it pays pretty nice. And when they do 6 of those in a month, it adds up. But by number of jobs, that's what I'm saying. It was up there high. Like I said, commercial was 1. And I had 1 business consult. That counts. That's VO income for me, but only 1 business consult. And that's typical for me, sometimes a couple a month. I don't do a lot of that. I don't press it that much. But it's a piece of the pie, right? A spoke in the wheel. So I continue to nurture that. And I go above and beyond with people when I do it. I send them outlines of what we talked about. It might even include things like screenshots of things I do in Nimble. Do this, try this. Here's how I set up a sequence. And I teach them how to test the sequence on themselves before they ever send it out. Make sure, even if you set it on 1-day intervals, the 4 or 5 emails you put in that sequence, put them on 1-day intervals. Let it run for a week and make sure it sends every one of them when it was supposed to. They look good. There's nothing misspelled. Then you can go in and add in the people you want to put in the sequence. But test it on yourself first. Set yourself up in Nimble as a client and do a test. And like I said, all you have to do is go back and change it because, no, I want that one now to go in 7 days, and this one to go in 14 days, this one goes in 30 days, this one goes in 90. Then I'm moving them to the new sequence where I'm only contacting people every 90 days. If you have a couple of good sequences set up like that, you can run autopilot. I mean, it really makes it easy. And I do get replies. I do get responses. I do have people sometimes that drop off, and some of them usually people that drop off usually drop off immediately. That's what I'm finding. You may find the third email. You may find 6 months down the road. You never know. What is the worst return on email marketing for me? Radio imaging, because God bless them, they're all moving around. You get a lead or something, and by the time you get it in and you start them in a sequence, they've already went somewhere else, or the place reorganized and all this happens. So I do have some bounces with that. Not a lot, but that's where I'll get some bounces on the initial email. So when I restart, a sequence for a group, let's say they went through the first 90 days. They got the introduction. They got the second follow-up. They got the, hey, really appreciate you hanging around. And then they get the last one says, you know what? I'm just going to put you on my newsletter list and try to reach out about 3 or 4 times a year if it's okay. But if it's not, you can unsubscribe right here. Hit this button. Usually if you're nice about it, they'll hang around. But what happens a lot of times, by the time I either get to the last couple of emails in there, I'll see where these people weren't bouncing, and now all of a sudden there's 4 bounces out of 300, or there's 2 out of 300. It's not a lot, but those folks move around more, I think. And it does happen at production houses too. So just some advice. And then also somehow my cache files had gotten full, and I know nothing about that part of the computer. I'm pretty savvy on my apps and how to set things up and how to handle my email and do my Nimble and all that. I'm pretty savvy with it. I get it. But I got a thing from Google that says there's something weird going on with your account, and we're not getting rid of you, but we're going to suspend it until you can verify it really is you. So I went through the steps, verified it, did all the stuff, and they said, yep, it's you. You're all good. I asked Nimble, I said, now I got to reconnect my email. Something's not working. What do you think? And they said, try this. They walked me through clearing the cache, doing this, doing that, and everything reconnected and is working great again. But you know what? I printed out what they sent me how to clear that cache thing, and I'll be looking for cash or credit, whatever I can get later on my computer, at least every few months, because I want to be sure I keep that cleaned out. I don't like that stuff happening. It's stressful when you get that email that, hey, there's something weird about your emails, or there's weird this or that. I don't like that. Direct marketing is the evil son of a gun that we all have to do. I continue to do it. I will continue to do it. Do I think it's my most effective thing? No, not really for me. For me, it's landing a client. And yes, I know you can land them through that, but the most effective thing for me is getting to do work for somebody, because chances are usually pretty good they'll come back. And a lot of times they do. Now, do I have a lot of one-off people? Sure, we all do. I have my share, especially on the Fiverr platform and Voices.com. I do get some repeats on Voices. I do get people that come to me direct. And, and I will say this honestly, in the last 3 months, my Voice 123 has hit the toilet again. I went ahead and dropped you paid so much for a quarter, $2,600 or something for the quarter, whatever it was. It wasn't that much. $1,200, maybe. I can't remember. And I had got my profile in shape. I was seeing more auditions when I did all that. But you know what? I just wasn't seeing stuff that fit me, and I wasn't booking that much. I booked 2 jobs maybe in 3 months, and I was just like, the ROI is not there for me. It's there for a lot of people. Congrats. I'm happy for you. Charles Coates tears it up on there. Jake Sanders does well on there. My two buddies from another VO podcast. I just don't. I'm a voices.com person for some reason. I will book on average 2 to 5 jobs a month on Voices because I don't know if they're used to me. They know what, the auditions to send. They have a algorithm of sorts. But like the other day, my good buddy Michael Cussman said, hey, I hope you saw this job on Voices. It's right up your alley. Nope. Didn't see it. But I've booked some good stuff on there lately. Chase Bank. This voice for Chase Bank, I did. It's a regional thing out in the Texas, Arizona, Oklahoma. It's like a 3 or 4 state region thing. Paid really nice. I'll book some things like that now and then. Blind hog gets a squirrel or whatever. No, blind hog finds a corn. I don't know. I've almost outgrown all my country things, but it's hard for me to say. I don't know for sure, but I've found that my path is Voices.com works for me. The ROI is fantastic for me. I don't stress over it. I only audition for what I think I'm a good fit for. I'll check it 4 times a day, maybe every couple hours. If I get an email, because I've got my email set to where if the job's over $1,000 equal to or over 1,000, then I'll quickly jump in the booth if I'm not already in the booth and look at it. But it may not be for me, and then I just go, not for me. Agency-wise, agents. Oh, jeez. I'm dry. It's dry for me. I have not booked anything outside of one audiobook in the last 18 months with agents. I don't know why. And the first 2 years that I was in this full time, I booked 4 to 6 jobs each year. I don't know what happened. I wish I had an answer, but I don't. But I'm making more money. So see, this is why you can't stress over a voiceover. You can't try to be somebody else. You can't think, well, they're doing it. Why can't I do it? Why can't I book that stuff? I sound as good as they do. It has nothing to do with it. You're building relationships. You are learning the craft. You are learning to pivot, which is what I have been doing this year. I pivoted and it worked. I got the thing of, you are really good at blah, 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 blah. And this had to do with the UGC stuff. And I said, maybe I will try that. I did a couple of them for a guy over the last few years. He would always reach out to me. It was direct stuff. I actually hooked him on Upwork a long time ago. And it was normally some kind of insurance / legal / tied to the military. If you were based at such and such fort and you had these issues, you need to listen up. And here's the thing. I get to become just me saying, look, if you were down at Fort whatchamacallit and you were experiencing a lot of congestion and coughs, it could be related to what went on at that fort. And let me explain to you exactly what it is and how you could be eligible for a large cash settlement. It's just me talking. It's me being a voice actor in front of a selfie video. Who knew anybody would want this guy to do that? So with that pivot, I started focusing on it some, training on it, learning how to do it better, understanding how to read the briefs, understanding the terms and how it all worked. Is that a bug? What was that? Anyway, I pivoted. I got into something else that was, I see him on my mic stand, and go away. And I learned to do something new that I actually enjoyed. And unfortunately, I spent a lot of money doing it, but not that much. But I learned, I grew, and I'm still getting business with it. The good thing is each job pays nicely for the amount of time I put into it. And I look at that as a big plus. The ROI is definitely there for me. in that type genre. And that, for me, is the senior / mature spokesperson who normally is covering products that are geared for people my age or older. Do I get to do some other things that are cool? Yeah, I got to do one about a plumbing service one time, and it was hilarious because I had to make my toilet look like it had blown up, and I had to put Hershey's Cocoa in it, and it had to be nasty looking. And it was hilarious. It was fun. And I enjoy it. And I have enjoyed learning to do more with video, which it's fun. I've learned a lot about lighting. I know I got a shiny spot on my head, but you know why? I left my overhead light on. I should have turned it off, and I would have let my other lights in here do the work. But I was just kind of in a hurry. I said, I got to do a podcast. It's got to come out Monday, rain or shine. I said, you know what? Let's record it with this Sennheiser profile. Let's do a video, and let's put it all out there. Why not? And I'll just pull the audio off this and use it for the podcast. Anyway, I'm not going to go on any further, any longer. This is a shorty this time. I didn't have a guest. I haven't lined people up like I've been doing, but I really have my mind right now on going to Dallas, and that's coming up. I'll be flying out August 21st to be down there that afternoon, and I'll be at One Voice the 22nd through the 24th. If you're coming, for gosh sakes, and you're kind of shy and backward, I kind of can be, but now that I've been around this long enough, I feel more confident when I go to these things and feel like I can be a part of it. And I'd love to talk to you. I'd love for you to buy me a drink. Sorry, I had to get that in there. But yeah, I mean, I'll sit and talk to you. I'm one of those people that if I'm not engaged speaking in my talk, my free course or whatever I'm giving, and it's called You Are Enough, or I'm not on the automotive panel, and I think both those happen the same day. They happen on Friday. Saturday is going to be my day just to float around. And if I'm out in that lobby walking around or sitting down, and you may actually see me with a little shotgun mic and a windscreen on it, and I'll be recording into my phone, into Twisted Wave, just talking to people. And that will become a podcast. Jake Charles and I did that last year, and we interviewed people. It was a lot of fun, so I think I'm going to do it again. So plan on that. Stop and see me, talk to me, and I'll put you on. But outside of that, you know, man, I'm just more excited about that. I didn't get to go to Atlanta this year, so I'm really excited to get to Dallas. And for those of you that most of you know, I've been on a weight loss journey. I have been on a version of Zepbound, a trizepatide compound. And I found out that, you know, it was pretty expensive, about $365 a month. But, you know, I've lost about 35 pounds. I feel a lot better. But my local doctor found a compound pharmacy here near me, and it reduced the price by about $160 or something like that. It's closer to $200. But I have to put it in a syringe and put it under my tongue daily. I haven't started that one yet. I've got enough to probably take one, maybe two more injections, and then I'll start on that medicine, and it's already here. And we'll see how that works. But this week I dropped 3 pounds. I upped my dose on the medicine, and I'll take that same dose again next week. And just keep on keeping on, because my goal is, I think when I get down to where I need to be, then I probably have retrained. And my gastric bypass surgery I had a long time ago, 2006, I think. 2006, so it's almost 20 years now. And I think it will retrain. Oh, I know it's retrained. I can't eat that much, even when I get hungry on this diet. But most of the time, it turns off food noise. Don't think about eating that much. I just don't. I think about staying busy. I think about doing work stuff, working in my room here, working in my studio, cleaning stuff up, you know, bush hogging. I'm out riding the tractor and mowing the yard. And we've had 2 wonderful days of weather here. It's been so great. It was about 81 today, maybe. Sun was kind of out, in and out. Yesterday it was about 76. It's August. What the heck? I wish it would stay like this until October and then cool off. That'd be great, but nah, 90s will be back here in a few days. And I know it'll be hotter than the devil's armpits when we get to Dallas. But I don't plan on leaving the hotel. I usually don't. unless somebody talks me into going somewhere to eat. I think we went to Cotton Patch last year, which is kind of neat. You know, I was a voice of Cotton Patch, and they still, every now and then, will reach out and do a spot, but they don't use VO in their spots much, unless they've got something real big going on with it. But hopefully it'll come back. But come on in to Cotton Patch and get that $19.99 special. So if you're out there and you watch YouTube, you might see me or hear me. You won't see me. Unless you come to Cotton Patch. We might all go to Cotton Patch now. I'm not going to Cotton Patch. I know Jeff Williams said there's somewhere he wanted us all to go, some kind of steakhouse. I'm up for that. Jeff Williams, if you're listening, let's make sure we do that, because I would like to have just one good type meal while I'm there. Rest of the time, I'll probably eat protein bars and drink protein shakes. And hey, I'm going to have a bunch of swag to give away with this logo on it. I've got some little keychain things you can clip on your keychain. I've got some little pins you can put on. I've got some bigger pins that say "You Are Enough." Listen to the VO Life podcast. I've got pens that you write with. It's all about pens. So pens, not pens, but pens. You hear how I knocked that out? Pens. Just come see me and get a pen. Not a pen, but a pen. I would appreciate it. Hey, y'all, thanks for listening. I really do appreciate your support. You guys have all been great to me for a long time. I don't know how much longer I'll keep doing this. Sometimes I think, man, there's nothing else to talk about. I've talked about everything 10 times. People are sick of it. And yet I still have somebody here and there go, man, I love your podcast. I hope you never stop. And I thank you for that. I thank you for allowing me to be real and authentic and telling you the truth about how it goes for me and how tough this business is. It's the hardest damn thing I've ever done in my life as far as a work thing. I have hauled hay as a kid, and it was awful. I carried the mail for a while. Probably the worst job I ever had to do. It was just like so stressful to me because I worked at Nissan for a long time, and everything was done by a perfect process. You repeat that process over and over and over, and then that way you don't make mistakes. You always put in the steering column the same exact way. You shoot the bolts in the same exact order. You see what I'm saying? Post office, new. Everybody there trained you in a different way. And I was a sub, so I had to learn a bunch of different routes. And every person trained you different. And every route was different. And if you didn't do it the way they did it, you couldn't do it. You couldn't finish it. There was a couple times I was out at 8 o'clock still delivering mail because I just didn't get it, the first couple times I ran those routes. And they would normally send you some help, but man, that was stressful. But this, after working 30 years in automotive, or close to 30 years, this is the most enjoyable thing I've ever done in my life. For the least amount of money, for the hardest amount of work. But I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't trade it for anything, and that's why you hear that come out in me on the podcast. I am passionate about what I do. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy helping people, and it all just rolls into this big fat ball called the VO Life. I hope to see you in Dallas. I hope you keep listening. Leave comments, send emails, do something, and by all means, support our sponsor. You know who they are. Jonathan Grant at VO Inbox or VO Leads. Look at voinbox.com, voleads.com. I use them both, and very proud to be a part of them. And Jonathan is as gold as the day is long. He's a good guy, transparent and a good guy, and that's why we connect. Folks, that's it. I got to go. There's nothing else I know to say, and I think it was enough babble-de-book that I can make a podcast out of it. It's the way it always goes. See you next time.
And that's another episode of The VO Life. Thanks for dropping in and hanging on. The VO Life was brought to you by voinbox.com.
The marketing tool that gives you back something others don't. Make an investment in your marketing that not only cultivates clients but gives you back time.
If you are a professional voice actor and you need to up your direct email marketing game, VO Inbox might be for you.
Reach out to Troy in an email to get 25 leads free with your paid subscription. Send that email to troy@troyholdenvoices.com.
Need to talk about building your VO business? You can schedule time with Troy on his website in half-hour or full-hour sessions. There's even a free 15-minute consult available, all on the website at troyholdenvoices.com.
Thanks for being here, and join us again next week on the VO Life.